lesson for the semifinals. This is about the Greek literature. Okay, so let's move. Okay, so let's move with this one. I am now to share my PowerPoint presentation about the this one. Okay. Okay, so you can see all this. All right. So we'll have the discussion of the Greek literature. Okay, the Greek literature. So last meeting, I discussed to you about the European literature. Now we have the Greek literature. So hindi ko na masyadong pinahirapan itong Greek literature. Okay? So the Greek literature, ano nga ba pag sinabing Greek literature? It is a body of writings in the Greek language. Okay? In Greece, with a continuous history extending from the first millennium before Christ to the present day. So meaning to say this Greek literature is still existing until now. Ano? So as part of my surprise activities, para malaman ko kung sino nakikinig at hindi, now send me a personal message or a private message about short, you are to search about Greece, the history of Greece. Maikli lang, just a short history of Greece. Where is Greece located? A short history of the Greek literature, yun lang. Okay, so send it to me, written on your notebook. Okay, next, from the beginning, its writers were Greeks, of course. So it's Greek literature, the writers were Greek, but not only those Greek na nakatira sa Greece proper, but also in the Asia Minor, Aegean Islands, ano nga basa dito? Grecia, kasi sinerch ko pa siya. Grecia, Sicily, and southern Italy. Again, ang mga writers are not just from Greece or the Greeks alone. Yes, technically, the Greeks are the writers, pero hindi lang sila sa Greece nakatira. They were from the Asian Minor, the Aegean Islands, and the Magna Graecia. Okay? Baka tatandaan itong tatlong ito. Right. After the conquest of Alexander the Great, Greek became the common language. Okay? Greek became the common language of the Eastern Mediterranean lands and then of the Byzantine Empire. I'm not sure with the pronunciation of okay, let's search about it. Tingnan natin na Byzantine. I don't know. Where to? Sinesearch ko kasi siya kasi I don't want to get wrong in teaching. Alam niyo naman yun. Okay, Byzantine. It's Byzantine. All right. So let's move. We have this, the Byzantine Empire. Again, after the conquest of Alexander the Great, when we say Greek literature, ang pakatatandaan yung character is si Alexander the Great. Sino ba si Alexander the Great? Ito yan. Yung nakikita nyo may bust na ganyan. That is Alexander the Great. Sino nga ba si Alexander the Great? Alexander the Great ba ang pangalan niya? Or what? Tinawag lang sa kanya yon. So, technically, Alexander the Great is not really Alexander the Great in its name. But it is Alexander III or Alexander of Macedonia, the king of Macedonia. Okay? So, when I was a kid, I do remember a story about the Alexander the Great. Sinasabi nila na ito daw yung greatest hero during the Greek times, ganyan. Kumbaga parang tinalo niya yung napakatagal ng empire. Because of his leadership, natalo yung napakatagal ng naghahari. And sort of, ganun nga ang nangyari. Okay, let's now move with the periods of Greek literature. So we have the sinerch ka din siya. I just want to make sure about it. Don't get me wrong, I am searching the pronunciation kasi gusto kong maging tama. Kasi meron tayong iba't ibang what do you call this? Stress pronunciation. We have the British English, the American English, marami tayo. So maraming possible na maging pronunciation. Pero ako ay nagde-depend sa American pronunciation and I want to make it clear to you. Okay? It's archaic. Okay. The archaic period. Let's move. So the periods of Greek literature, we have the archaic, the classical, and the Hellenistic and Greco-Roman. Pero I just want to focus only with this archaic and classical. Okay? Hindi na natin i-discuss itong si Hellenistic. All right. Let's move with the archaic period. Archaic period to the end of the 6th century. Ang nandiyan dyan, ang focus lang natin or ang ipinagbigay focus ko lang sa inyo in the archaic period is the myth, the epic, and the didactic poetry. Tatandaan, tatatlo na yan, okay? Tatatlo na. The myth, the epic, and the didactic. Okay, myth. Ngayon naman ang assignment nyo dito kay archaic period is you are to search of a myth na sinulat during the archaic period. At least one. Okay, at least one. Write it on your notebook, send it to me. Okay? Myth is a part of legend based sometimes on the dim memory of historical events, a part of folktale, and part of the religious speculation. Okay, so epic. So when we say myth, they often treated of the gods and heroic mortals. Okay, so this is about the gods and heroic mortals usually. Next, with the epic, when we say epic, nandiyan dyan si the Iliad and the Odyssey. The Iliad and the Odyssey, and the myth of the Mycenaean age. These two great poems, standing at the beginning of the Greek literature, established most of the literary conventions of the epic poem. So ano daw yung basis ano daw ang basis hanggang ngayon ng mga epic poem? Kumbaga ano yung dalawang foundation ng epic poem? Those are the Iliad and the Odyssey, and the myth of the Mycenaean age. Huwag kalilimutan. May dalawa na akong assignment. Next, didactic poetry. When we say didactic poetry, it is from Hesiod, was probably later in the composition than Homer's epics, and though different in theme and treatment, continue the epic tradition. Kahit na medyo naiiba yung didactic poetry during this time, still nag-support pa rin siya doon sa epic na nag-boom sa time ni archaic period. Okay? Again, archaic period, we have the myth, the epic, and the didactic poetry. So didactic poetry, type of writing a poem. Okay, kung paano siya sinusulat. Si didactic poetry. Next, let's move with the several types of the Greek lyric poetry originated in the archaic period. Okay? So, ang poetry, katulad ng sinabi ko dito, meron tayong dibang didactic poetry. So, ibig sabihin pala, lahat ng types or several types of the poetry, of the lyric poetry is from the archaic period. So, dito kay archaic period na-develop yung ating poetry. Ano ba pag sinabing poetry? Those are the rhymes. Diba? Saan makikita si rhyme? Sa poem, sa tula. So, ibig sabihin, in short, in the archaic period, dyan na-develop ang pagsulat ng tula. Okay? So, ang mga mahalagang tao naman, Archilochus, Alcaeus and Sappho, Anacreon of Theius, and Alcman in Sparta, and okay, let's search about this. I don't want to make wrong about the pronunciation. Let's have this. Wait a minute. Still loading. We'll have Stesichorus. Okay, so it's Stesichorus. All right. Stesichorus. Baka tatandaan ha, siya hindi na tumigil. Okay. So yon, tatandaan nyo yung mga mahalagang tao sa archaic period. Next, we have dito naman kay archaic period, except sa unang mga umuso or nag-develop, nag-boom, nandito din si tragedy and comedy. Okay? Diyan din nagmula si tragedy and comedy. Also, the written codes of law. This is the earliest form of prose. Okay? And then, this one and this one. Pakatatandaan, please. Then, the classical period, di ba? Napakaikli lang. I just make this Greek literature as easy as I can. Okay? Classical period, we have Aristophanes, the tragedy of Sophocles, Euripides. All right. The greatest of the comedic poets. Okay? Ito yon. The tragedy of Sophocles made progress toward both dramatic complexity and naturalness while remaining orthodox in its treatment of religious and moral issues. Dito yan kay classical. And Euripides handled his themes on the plane of his skeptical enlightenment and doubted the traditional picture of gods. So siya na may parang iniba niya yung character, yung pagkakakilala ng mga writers, ng readers, ng tao about kay God. So meron siyang ibang interpretation of God. And this is my third assignment on you. I want you to search about Euripides o all of his, okay, tingnan natin kung accepted sa American si Euripides. Kasi when I was in college, yun ay tinuro sa akin ng aming professor. Tingnan natin kung ganyan sa American pronunciation. Oh, magkaiba lang ng stars. Euripides. Okay, so let's move. So this is your assignment. Okay. Look for a writing ni Euripides. Okay. Look for a writing of Euripides and criticize it. Tell to me ano yung writing niya about sa perception niya sa God. Ano yung idea niya about God? What makes him different from the other writers of the classical period? And the last one, ang mahalaga sa classical, si Plato and si Aristotle. Okay? Plato and Aristotle. Ang kay Plato, kasi ang kanyang mga writings is about the ethics, metaphysics, and politics. Okay? While with Aristotle, ang kanya naman includes the physics, the natural history, psychology, and literary criticism. They have formed, meaning to say Plato and Aristotle formed the basis of Western philosophy. Sila lang naman yung naging basis of the Western philosophy. So that's it. Now I want to know who listened from the beginning up to the end of my presentation. What just I want now is that you complied with you are to comply. Ayan, hindi na ako nakita. Mukhang bad. Okay, share ko ulit para makita ko. Okay. All I want to know now is that kung sino sa inyo nakinig from the beginning until the end, I am to wait until tomorrow by 5 p.m. ng lahat ng assignments. Okay? So that could be all. Good luck. Keep safe, everyone. Bye.